Like, he's basically added in JVP and seems to be really singing his praises. Most of the versions of this I've seen are on, Mind Sculptor, but he's got Jace Vryn's Prodigy, no Mind Sculptors, and seemed really happy with it.
Yeah.
Anyway, here we go. Off to the races. Eric Virgo has the turn 1 Force of Will for the Chalice on 1.
I don't think that could have left his hand fast enough there.
No. He kept a draw with a Force of Will. Oh, wow. 1 land, nothing to do for 1 mana, but he had Force of Will, so he kept. Wait, he only has 2 cards in his hand. He mulliganed multiple times?
Yeah, it looks like, he mulliganed aggressively into he basically wanted an interactive hand. Probably may have seen too many Stifles, may have just seen a hand that folds the Chalice on 1, so he wanted to find something playable.
Man, he's on Spell Pierce and maybe a Lightning Bolt? Not sure what the other card was. Yeah, Spell Pierce doesn't shop a Matter Reshaper. No, it can't be a Pierce. He would have pierced the...
I mean, that might have been a draw for the turn when he passed.
Sure. No, he would have snared the Chalice. It's not a snare. It might be a Pierce. Anyway, Matter Reshaper in the house. Now there's a Ponder, so couple of mulligans for Eric, but he did fend off Chalice 1.
Yeah. Dazed Bolt here.
A Lightning Bolt's not great against Matter Reshaper.
No.
I mean, sometimes you get backed into a corner where you kind of have to, but Eric started this game on 4 cards. Seth started this game on 6 cards.
Whew. Yeah, it looks like Eric Virgo's land there might not stick around too long. I saw a Wasteland in Seth's hand with an endless one to possibly follow up with.
Yep.
It takes care of that.
Waste the Volcanic, serves with Matter Reshaper. Ships the turn. Wow, no land.
Yeah, that mulligan that deep, he is going to be hurting for lands, and playing against a Wasteland deck is not going to make that easier.
Did he keep on the Ponder, or did he shuffle off the Ponder?
He shuffled off.
He shuffled off the Ponder, right?
Yeah. All right, waiting until 4 to cast the Endless one.
Eye of Ugin showed up, so now it's a 4/4 Endless one.
Yeah.
Yeah, this game is all but over. Here's 7. You get 1 draw step. I have a 4/4 and a 3/2 that gives me value if you kill it.
Also a Mistress Factory.
Done.
Done.
Game 1 to Seth Black and his Eldrazi deck.
Yeah, easy as that.
That didn't take long.
No. So, Eric being down a game here, I'm a little more hesitant now about my choice. I'll be honest. But hopefully we'll see Eric kind of, with taking out the Stifles, taking out as many Dazes as he can. He can't really take out all of them because there's not as many.
Right, what does he get?
Yeah, he doesn't. He was talking to me about he only really has 6 things to bring in. I don't know exactly what those 6 are.
A Braid and an Ancient Grudge, I think you bring in just to kill Chalices,
yeah,
right?
Those are definitely first 2. A Braid double duty on maybe like a smaller Endless one.
True Name Nemesis seems okay.
True Name, Pithing Needle.
Pithing Needle is solid.
Yeah, I think he I don't know if he wants to really use his own Wastelands, so protecting.
Sideboard's not great for this matchup.
No, it's really not.
Doesn't really have any ability to kill a Reality Smasher.
No, once that guy comes down, it's he's sticking around. No Dismember or anything like that.
Right. Yeah, you got to get Hooting Mandrills or True Name Nemesis into a brawl. That's about it.
Yeah. Yeah, Reality Smasher is really just going to break this open if it hits play because tramples right through True Name Nemesis. It's bigger than Hooting Mandrills. It's bigger than Nimble Mongoose or Delver can ever get. Yeah.
Do you think Seth changes his deck much?
I don't know if he really needs to. Thorn of Amethyst seems like possible, but especially on the draw, that doesn't seem like a really good line.
Yeah, I think those are the anti-combo plan.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, your opponent's got a dozen creatures in his deck. They're not in the main. Given that they're not in the main, like most of your, I don't know.
Yeah, there's really not much there otherwise.
Right, but his main deck is just good in the matchup. Like,
yeah.
It's not like he needs to take things out.
Yeah, the deck is specifically designed to play against these Ponder Brainstorm decks.
Right. I mean, Thorns are better than Warping Whales, I guess, is the card you would take out first.
Makes
Warping
sense.
Wheel always feels like it does a little bit of this and a little bit of that. None of it looks exciting, but
Right. Yeah, it's
functional.
The combination, all of the modes, just kind of coming together as that little versatility. Yeah, I used to. This is actually very similar to the Jayco Drowsy Powerless Eldrazi decks. They other than the fact that Chalice of the Void from the vintage coverage is restricted, they really kind of have the same game plan. I got to play around with that a little bit.
Sure.
And
all right, both players keep 7. Wow, man, 14 cards between them. They only kept 10 cards last game.
Wow.
Eye of Ugin into a Mimic. Is there more?
Maybe there are 2 Simian Spirit Guides in his hand.
Huh. Does that Mimic a check for Spell Snare? Found one.
Yeah.
Man, if he's got Spirit Guide, Chalice, that would be insane. He's got the Spirit Guide part.
Yeah, he just needs that Chalice. I mean, next turn, from the looks of it, he has 2 Mana Reshaper in his hand. Next turn, he can deploy both of them with the Eldrazi Temple.
Sure. Nimble Mongoose is here. No land drop for Eric Virgo. Yep. Eldrazi Temple, 2 colorless. I'll use one of it there. And I assume he'll use one on the other one. Or is he pausing?
Yeah.
Eric might Force a Will.
Might Force Will, might Daze. The mana floating can only cast Eldrazi. But it doesn't look like he has one. So let's Stifle in the deck. It's interesting. And I had another one. Although it looks like he has another Force Will in his hand.
I guess you stifle a Wasteland. That's why you leave Stifle in your deck.
It makes sense.
It is a blue card. I don't know.
Yeah. He was just off of it when I was talking to him. But maybe somebody talked him into it for that very reason.
All right. Eric resolving a main phase Brainstorm here.
He will have the land drop for this turn.
Yeah, found a fetch land. So he gets to Brainstorm fetch. He gets to make his land drop. Well, if he wants to. I think he's putting the fetch back. Is there another one in there?
Can't tell. All I see in his hand is Hooting Mandrills.
Wasteland. So it goes to the Temple. Eye of Ugin is great at making everything too cheaper, but it doesn't actually make any mana itself, so you got to get the colorless from somewhere else to get things started. Turns out Seth's hand is fine. Ancient Tomb, and he just Trop Deck Decidia Traders.
Yep.
So what else does he have threat-wise, though?
Yeah,
wow, Seth has a hand that needs red mana. Yeah, those Simian Spirit Guides are going to get summoned. He needs what? Cavern of Souls? Is that the only way?
Yeah, Cavern of Souls on Ape. That would start deploying those next turn if he top decks the
or he could pitch one to cast the other.
Yeah.
I think I might have pitched one to cast the other there. The 2/2 creature is relevant on this board.
Yeah.
What else is he going to do?
I think if he doesn't draw the Cavern this turn, he might go for it.
Well, 2/2 is a little less relevant now.
Now, okay. The Hooting Mandrills kind of changes that a little bit.
Giant Endless One is the other thing you can do with him.
Yeah, we can make an Endless 8 here.
1, 2, 3, 4. 2 from the eye. 6, 7.
Oh, no.
All is dust. Wow.
Yeah, he's going to hold back the other monkey in order to all is dust at some point, possibly. Or, sorry, Endless One later.
Huh. Days, and he's got the Spirit Guide. Oh, my God. Seth Black had it all covered. He seemingly taps out for a 7-mana All is Dust. Eric Virgo goes for the Days. He's got the Simian Spirit Guide for the surprise mana to pay the one for the Days.
Oh, my goodness.
That was insane.
Yeah, that was... He thought he had him, but that's Spirit Guide. It's a good thing he didn't cast any of those Syrian Spirit Guides earlier.
Totally. Yeah, I didn't see the All This Dust. All This Dust totally changes it. Having a red ape is awful in a world where you're planning to cast All This Dust. I didn't realize All This Dust would come in this matchup, but he needed to kill Looting Mandrills there, and I guess he would need to clear a True Name Nemesis. So All This Dust seems great.
Does Eric still have a Force in hand?
Does he? I don't think he has another blue card, if that's true.
Yeah. I mean, the Days would have been that blue
Yeah,
card.
I think he's got Force, no blue card.
So
he could have Forced a Will. He chose the Days instead of Force pitching Days.
Yeah.
That's even better.
He thought he was going to get one over on Seth,
right.
but he turned the tables.
Oh, totally. If your opponent taps out for Giant Spell, you use the Day. You don't Force pitching Days. You just Days.
Yeah. It's like that's 7.
Got him good.
Yeah, Endless 4 here.
No, that's Endbringer, isn't it?
No, that's an
it's Endless 1. Oh, it's
Endless
6.
6. Sorry, 6 with the floating the city mana. Yeah. Don't block for 1 turn, but looks like you're right.
Crazy.
I still can't believe that All This Dust play.
Force of Will and Ancient Grudge in Eric Virgo's hand. He's so dead. Ball game. Seth Black, ladies and gentlemen. 11 minutes and 42 seconds. The time on the clock. He's already got 2 wins and a spot in the semifinals. Wow.
I'm still reeling from that. That All This Dust play. And he's trying to get one over on him with the Days and fired right back, just like I have the other Simian Spirit Guide.
And Seth gets another Delver deck.
Yeah.
His semifinal opponent, we don't know if it's going to be Bob Huang or Luke Blum, but we do know it's going to be Grixis Delver one way or the other.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's exactly what he wants to see. That's why the deck is designed the way it is.
He could totally run the table.
Yeah.
There's like 5 Delver decks in this top 8. He could get one from the other side of the bracket, too.
That's
easily.
True. Although it looks like we might have some results on some of the side tables.
Do we? Maybe not results, but games.
We have one game.
It's Bob who's up a game
Yeah.
against Luke Blum, and also Hans is up a game. So that's Hans Jacob Godek up a game on Brian Koval.
Yeah. So we could see. Is this a chance we see check pile now?
Yeah, I assume. I mean, that was our backup table match anyway, and you're like, yeah, okay, fine. We'll lead with the Eldrazi. It's pretty fast. Probably check pile versus Esper, Deathblade. However many names we want to add to that was going to take a little longer.
Yeah, it doesn't have your Monk reference on there anymore.
What was on the original deck list? It's Hani's reference, right?
Yeah.
Jeff's no fun. Oh, we're not doing the check pile match. We're doing that one.
They're not in between games right now.
Got it. We're gonna watch the match that is actually between games, and can be moved under our camera more easily. So that's Brian Koval versus Hans Jacob Godek. Godek on Sultai Delver, so Deathrite Delver, Tarmogoyf Tombstalker is his creature set. Be playing against Brian Koval on the Grixis side, so Deathrite Delver, Snapcaster, True Name, Young Pyro. Oh, and he's also got 1 Tombstalker.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay. Yeah. Hans up a game at this point. Players sideboarding. We'll get them under the camera for game 2.
Brian's the one with the Cabal Therapy, Taxi, and Probe synergy.
Yeah.
Hans has 4 Hymn to Torox main.
Wow.
And multiple Liliana Last Hope.
Yeah, that might be what broke open the Delver mirror for that first game. The 4 Hymn to Torox, especially. I mean, Brian is in those colors, but can't really support it with that mana base, and so yeah. Deathrite Shaman. It'll be interesting. I'm kind of looking through the sideboard here of some of the options that Brian has to bring in. Do you want Diabolic Edict in this matchup to try to deal with some of the big guys? Obviously, Brian only has 1 Tombstalker to Hans's too.
I think so. I mean, you want to kill a Tarmogoyf, you want to kill a Tombstalker.
Yeah.
Mongoose and Tombstalker in the top 8. It's been a while since we've seen those guys, hasn't it? They're
Yeah.
not regulars, but
No, they're not. Yeah,
lurking around the fringes.
I mean, between Tombstalker, Mongoose, you have Deathblade. You have a lot of interesting choices coming into this. A lot of strategies that have been written off a little bit, but also the tried and trues with the Grixis. Nice little mix there.
Which is your favorite flavor of Delver?
I mean, I was rooting for the Teamer Delver. So that
Teamer?
was yeah. It's just, it rings true to Delver. I kind of want to say the old, I mean, it wasn't a Delver deck at the time, but like back in 2005 with the Werebear Meddling Mage, the blue, white, green version. I'm quite partial to that just because it was like the first Threshold deck that I really saw.
Sure.
I had a friend of mine that was in the top 8 of that tournament. And so that's what rings true as Threshold now, Delver to me, even before Delver. But, I mean, some of these Deathrite Shaman certainly doesn't really make that color combination make sense anymore. So if I had to pick of these two guys, I'd say Hans.
I'm a Grixis man.
You're a Grixis man?
Gitaxian Probe Cabal Therapy. It's just, it feels so good. Throw a young Pyromancer in so the flashback is free.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I played that in Vintage. You know, the one season of Vintage Super League that I won was essentially Young Pyro, Gitaxian Probe, Cabal Therapy, right? That was the Vintage deck I won the Vintage Super League with. And it's all of those cards are good on their own. The synergy is spectacular. That's just, every time I haven't played a lot of Delver in Legacy, but the couple times I have, I feel like, how can that combo just feel so good? I'm always shuffling up those colors.
Nice. I mean, you certainly are these days, even though there's a fourth color involved as well.
Yeah, sure. Fair. Does look like Andre has now won the first game in the check pile matchup.
Yeah, maybe we'll get through this one quickly, and we can maybe get 3 quarterfinals.
Yeah, that'd be nice. We'll definitely hold it. If they go to a game 3, if Andre drops this second game, we will watch that third game after this.
It looks like Hans seems to have mulligan this game to 6.
It's Hans with an S, right?
Yeah.
Not Han? Jeff?
Yeah, I'll get them.
We'll get there.
Yes.
Koval has kept 7, Godix on 6, and we're off. Deathrite Shaman. Ponder.
All right. Wasn't sure if we were going to see the Deathrite mirror match there.
Yeah. If you're just joining us, we finished our Vintage Championships already. Andrew Marketon was the winner. Montolio, to those of you who watch Magic Online deck lists flow in, he and his Shops deck defeated good friend and teammate Rich Shea in the finals.
Yeah. Dr. Rich Shea.
And now we're playing Legacy. We're in the quarterfinals. We'll run this one through until we have a Legacy champ.
Hans not liking what he saw off the Ponder. A little shuffle there. What do we want to be seeing out of Brian in this on the second turn? Doesn't look like he has Hans has any way in the main or side to really interact with true name nemesis other than Toxic Deluge, which wouldn't really come down till third turn.
Yeah, Hans is the wrong Liliana for killing it.
Yeah. Young Pyromancer.
Here's where he's supposed to go Gitaxian Probe Cabal Therapy. No?
No, not this time.
All right.
do think I see. I mean, I see a Flooded Strand in his hand. I think I saw a flash of a Diabolic Edict as well. Otherwise, can't see what Brian's at. Yeah.
He's able to kill the young Pyromancer with no elementals coming into play.
Wow. It looks like at this point, Brian does have the true name nemesis that I mentioned. Now he has a Gitaxian Probe.
Where were you last turn?
Yes, we have. Does have the Tombstalker as a threat soon. Tarmogoyf as well. The Daze isn't going to do much now that it's well known, and Brian has quite a bit of mana to play around.
It's important, though. I mean, Brian's got a true name nemesis.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he could have had Wasteland available for days. Or he can just waste the island.
Yeah.
No dazing now. Here's true name.
Yeah, Hans is going to have to navigate around what Brian might have as an answer to the Toxic Deluge. Not this turn, but next turn.
Right, post-sideboard match. First game we're watching, but the Deluges certainly came in.
Yeah, it's currently in its hand. Yeah, he's going to make a big threat of his own. Currently sitting as a 4/5, I believe. If we can get that die to go down a little bit.
Diabolic Edict. In there to kill the giant creature. And down goes Tarmogoyf.
I don't think Brian has any way to react if Toxic Deluge comes out this turn to take care of his board.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to do his best to represent permission. But at some level, if Hans goes for it.
Yeah.
All right. You 2 for 1 to me. It's unfortunate, but he can not game ending.
Right.
Hans has to go for it.
Yeah.
Right?
This is a window.
I mean, from his perspective, he's got his days back on too, right? No mana for Brian. He can't even get Force of Will. This seems like a clean spot for Deluge.
It looks like he ate something.
Yeah, he ate a Ponder.
Fetch, so try to take him off Tombstalker mana, but
Oh, is that what that was?
I think that's what he was trying to do, but Deluge instead. Yeah. Goes right through. Pay 2 life.
It's kind of a signal that he did not have a Force of Will, though.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Deluge, 3 mana. Pay however much life it takes to sweep the board of the creatures you want to kill.
Oh, poor elves in that art.
It's about right. You can kill a lot of elves with that card.
Yeah, you can.
And here is the Tombstalker.
Death right of his own to follow it up.
What is Brian sitting on? 4 mana and he's not doing anything. Pays the 2 for the Gitaxian Probe? Don't you pay blue there?
Yeah, I don't know what he's really holding up his mana for. I don't know the sequence that he... Yeah, another land. Death right. I don't know what he's holding back at this point. Maybe a Force of Will with no pitch card, but in these grindier matchups, I feel like Force of Will might not stick around. Yeah. I think Hans is just going to be able to deploy the Liliana the Last Hope without any issue here.
Yeah, he seems to just, I mean, Brian managed to get down the early threats. He managed to get down a true name, but his opponent had the answer. And the Toxic Deluge to sweep the board. Seems like, maybe a little bit of a flood on the Brian Koval side. Hans Jacob Godek looking good to earn his spot in the semis.
Yeah. Yeah, Hans just sealing it up. Yeah, just with the way these decks are built, Brian does kind of look like the beatdown, and tried to identify that game plan in the second game, but Hans played the control game perfectly, got the deluge, and stabilized, and it's going to shut this out. Uses the death ray this turn to avoid the 6 death ray.
Back table update. Looks like Bob and Luke are now tied at 1 game apiece.
Brian's thinking about what he can do. This is a tough situation. I can't think of what he can do to get out of this.
Draw fewer lands. Somehow sequence his way around that Toxic Deluge better.
Yeah.
All right, what does Snapcaster do? Deathrite is tapped, so the coast is clear to at least do something. Did he lose the Edict, or is the Edict still there?
The Edict's still there, I believe.
I mean, I guess it only gets Deathrite.
If he has another removal spell in hand, maybe he can
Right.
kill the death ray and then Edict, but yeah, that's not the case.
Snapcaster not going to live long.
No. No, it was.
Tombstalker keeps crunching over. 1 turn clock now.
Yep.
Needs to find basically another Edict, right? What else does he have? It's the second Edict. I guess
Tombstalker is
Dismember and a Tombstalker of his own.
Yeah. Electing to dismember the Deathrite Shaman before the fetch for the Tropical Island resolves, so that he can't eat a creature and take him off the 1 turn kill.
Yep.
It looks like he drew the Tombstalker though.
Liliana means it's going to be forced to chump block? Right, she just shrinks it and then you attack in.
Yeah. So that only staves him off a turn, but it is something.
It means he didn't. Yeah, he's just extending his hand. Just like, yeah. Okay. You got me. Hans Jacob Godek, 2-0, wins his quarterfinal match.